Well, hello, friends. So, in our previous lesson, we downloaded Android Studio to our computers and installed it. But remember, the installation process is not completely finished. So, that means in this lesson, we are going to complete the SDK installations. We're also going to examine in good detail how to create a project in Android Studio. All right, so if you're ready, you must be chomping at the bit. Let's get started. So, first, let's find Android Studio app where we downloaded it from the search bar. So we type in Android Studio and we can find the application that we downloaded. Yeah, so as you can see, we found the app. So now I click open. So now we can open the application. If you notice, a window called Import Android Studio Settings pops up. So if you've already got Android Studio installed on your computer, you can just directly transfer the settings there. But since we are going to install Android Studio for the very first time, we'll choose the Do Not Import Settings option. You follow? So I'll just press the OK button. Now here it asks if we want to share the data with Google. Now I'll choose the Don't Send option just because. You can choose whatever you want, but whatever you do, you'll see a window in the form of Android Studio Setup Wizard pops up. So now we can start the installation. So I'll just press the next button, and here we come up to two different options: standard installation, custom installation. So you can complete the necessary installation procedures by choosing the standard installation from here. But I do want to show you all of the steps in the installation process. So that means I'm going to choose custom. So here I just press the next button again. Now on this page, it'll ask us to select the JDK, that is the Java Development Kit location. So this kit comes embedded with Android Studio. So actually, there's not a real need for the JDK installation that we did in the previous lesson. I just want to show it to you. We still want the updated JDK file to be on our computer. You follow? So if you want to use a different IDE instead of Android Studio, you must have a JDK on your computer. Now you get it. So we download the JDK and make our computer ready to write code. So that's why we choose Embedded JDK as our option here. So we can press the next button again. And here we can choose the theme of the interface that we're going to code. There are two different options, Darkula and Light. Now, typically I prefer the light mode, but you can always reserve that option to choose later. So I'll press Next. So on this page, we'll do the necessary procedure for the installation of the SDK, and that is the Software Development Kit. So as you can see here, we've got Android SDK Platform, Performance, and Android Virtual Device. So these are our three different options. Now, at this point, it really is worth noting that we can test the applications that we make in Android Studio on virtual devices offered to us by Android Studio. That's why I suggest you choose all of the options here. Otherwise, you may encounter some problems a bit later on. Therefore, I'll choose all three different options. And just below, we will need to specify the SDK location. Now, I usually set these locations to be default. You can save it to any folder that you want, and I'll press the next button again. Now, on this page, for the emulator, we can set the RAM size that we're going to allocate. Now, in general, we can pretty much use the size suggested, and then while your emulator is running, the size that you set here will be used from your RAM, of course. When you close the emulator, your RAM will continue to run at its previous size. So without changing anything, I'll just press Next. So this page also lists the settings that we have made so far. So if there's any setting that you want to change, you can always return to the previous page where you made the relevant settings, changing by clicking the previous button. So if you're not going to make any changes, you can confirm all of the settings, and that way we can complete the installation by clicking the Finish button. As you can see, the download starts, and just like before, this process may take a while, so I'm just going to stop the screen recording at this point, and when the installation is complete, we'll continue where we left off. All right, my friends, my installation is complete. I hope yours went well. So here I'll just press the Finish button. And as you can see, to create a new project or open an existing project in Android Studio, more precisely, this will be the first screen that we encounter every time that we open Android Studio. But in any event, we can create a new project here. So I'll choose from here the Create New Project option. So from this page, we'll choose a template for Android project that we're going to create. So first I want to have a look around at the different tabs here. So as you know, Android operating system is used not only in phones and tablets, but also in watches, televisions, and cars, and, well, many different areas. So it becomes important on which device type that you want the application to work. So you will need to choose a template suitable for the relevant device. Now, since we will develop applications for tablets and phone, well, we're going to choose the Phone and Tablet tab. And of course, there are many different templates in this tab. So Android Studio offers us some ready-made templates so that we can get faster results for the projects that we'll do. For example, if we're going to make an application about Google Maps, right? Well, we can use the template here. Of course, we'll always choose an empty template. If you notice, there is the empty activity option as well. We're also going to talk about the concept of activity a lot from now on, because in Android, the interface design is shown to the users, and the software part related to the interface design constitutes the activity. Now, those might be unfamiliar concepts right now, but we're going to talk about them until, well, forever. So we're going to explore those details in some of the upcoming lessons. Just for now, choose the empty activity option. Press the Next button, and from this page that opens, we will configure the project that we create. So in other words, we determine the name of our project and the programming language right here on this page. So let's make those necessary definitions. So I will specify the name of my project, and here, of course, you can write whatever name you want. But at the same time, the name that you write here will be the name of your application. So for now, I'm just going to write First Project. Now, the second field is the field where we're just specifying the package name of our project. So you can think of the package name as the ID of your application. So generally, project package names are created as com.anything.application name. Okay. So if you just leave this as the example, you wouldn't be able to publish your application on Google Play because Google accepts the expression example as a sample work and would not allow it to be published on Google Play. Therefore, if you do work for a company, you could always write special expressions such as company name or your own surname. So that's why for now, I'm just going to leave the example for now, because I'm not going to be publishing this application anywhere. All right, so the third part in here is the file path, where our project will be saved. So you can save your project to any folder that you want to on your computer, but notice that there are / and project name right at the end of the file path. So in other words, if you change the file path, remember to add / and your project name to the end of the new file path. Otherwise, you won't be able to save your project, okay? So that's why in the beginning, I like to choose defaults. So here in the fourth part, we'll need to choose the programming language that we will use in our project. Now, we will be building our applications using the Kotlin programming language, so that's why I choose Kotlin from here. The fifth partition is the minimum SDK partition. So in other words, from which version of Android will we want the applications that we're going to make run? And we can determine this right from this section here. So as you know, Android is constantly releasing new versions, like Android 9, 10, Android 11. So it's from this section that we can determine the minimum Android level that the applications that we will make are going to work on. For example, if we choose Android 8, well, the application that we will make will also work on Android 8, Android 9, Android 10, and Android 11. So that's why the version that you choose refers to the minimum Android version. So if you notice, when I choose any version, Android Studio tells us just below what percentage of Android devices this application will run on. So if you are going to publish your app on the Play Store, you can choose a lower Android version from this section. So, of course, at this point, I also need to point out the following. Since some codes are updated with each new version of Android, choosing the lowest Android version can sometimes cause us problems. So that's why I generally choose API level 23. Of course, we can change these settings later, my friends. It's not a do or die situation right here, okay? You can choose any version, as we're just currently doing sample projects. Just want to flag that up for you. So now finally a checkbox gets created, and here we can use Android's old library, Android support. But we're not going to choose this option because we will use the Android X library. And this is the current library of Android. So that's what we'll be using in our projects, my friend, the current library of Android, this Android X library. All right, so now let's create our first project, or, well, my first project, by clicking the Finish button. So here, the creation of this first project may take a little while. It's also related to the speed of your computer. Now, you may also encounter an assistant like this when any invocation or update is made in Android Studio. So you can review this document. You can also close this window just by clicking the Assistant tab here. And on the bottom right part of the interface, we'll see an expression of the build processes of the project. So here, my friends, we don't want to take any action before we see the completion of the project, right? Otherwise, you may encounter some problems, and you don't want to do that right at the beginning. So again, just by opening the Build tab here, we can see whether the project is completed or not. All right, so when the project is completed, or if any error is encountered, you can see these processes right here in this section. The process of creating the project may take some time again, so that's why I'm just going to stop the screen recording here, and when the project is completed, we'll continue where we left off, my friends. All right? So as you can see, the project has been created. So far, we have installed Android Studio. We've created our first project. So from here, we're going to take a break. In the next lesson, we'll go over all of Android Studio's interface. See you in the next lesson.